In this clip, we're going to talk about how digital marketing is going to change in 2020. But before we do, don't forget to subscribe or follow whatever platform you are on. If you're interested in marketing, business, entrepreneurship, growth, whatever it is exactly, we got you covered. So let's talk about this. Digital marketing is changing every single day. In fact, I have a clip from the Marketing School podcast where we talk about how it's changing every single day.
If you think about it, search is changing. In our days, when we have questions, we would have just Googled it. But now people are just asking things like Alexa what the answers are. And because of that, SEO is going to change into more and more voice search. And when it changes into voice search, what you'll see is like you have rich snippets and Google taking your data. It's going to get even worse, in which they're going to just take your data and show it through a microphone or a speaker. And you're not going to get anyone coming to your website because of that.
In fact, look at this. Google, I think in 2018, I believe they made over 13,000 changes to their algorithm. So things are changing all the time. So if we think about this, look, guess what? LinkedIn, we now have access to LinkedIn Live, and this is as of recently. And a lot of things, look, Instagram has live, LinkedIn has live, Facebook has live. There's live everywhere, right? So video is just going to continue to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And I just don't see that changing. Like, technology is getting better, our bandwidth is getting better too. People are talking about 5G. I don't see that going anywhere. So video has to be in your strategy now, because if you look at a video like this, we actually repurpose this into short little social clips as well. We also repurpose this into audio. We also might repurpose this into a blog post. So we have a lot of different, we can create a lot of different pieces of content just by utilizing video. You know, we're wearing microphones, the quality is pretty good. And you know, if you're listening to this on podcast, this actually came from a video in the first place. So video is gonna get bigger and bigger. The engagement that we're getting from these live videos is super high. Like, the next thing we're gonna say is, sure, video is big, but like, when you go live, you can simulcast. So we simulcast to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, also to LinkedIn at the same time, just to go live. Look, that's great, right? Engagement is great around the live videos. You think about the gamers that are, you know, people that spend hours and hours watching gamers play. That is from live streaming. So live streaming is going nowhere. Video is going to get bigger and bigger. Amazon is actually coming out with live streaming too. So if you have products out there, you will have the ability to run live streams on Amazon too. Next thing that I wanted to talk about was voice. Even though you have Amazon, Alexa, you have all these different, maybe you have Google Home, like it's very primitive right now. You can ask, all I talk to my Alexa about is the weather right now. How's the weather? And then my second command is, how's the weather for the next 7 days? Those are the only two things I ask for right now. The weather, okay? It's gonna get stronger and stronger. And also, when you ask for, when you're doing searches, I think on mobile right now, I think it might be like 40% or so of searches are voice, right? But it's very transactional. So what you have to be paying attention to is, if voice search is getting bigger, you have to try to get that rank 0 snippet, because those are what like Alexa or Google Home pull from when they answer a question, right? Like, you know, what is the capital of California? Sacramento, right? That's how it works. Voice is gonna get bigger and bigger. You have to think about optimizing for rank 0. And let's move on to the next thing. Rand Fishkin actually did a study. He did a study with JumpShot, and this is on his blog SparkToro. But the number of 0-click searches are continuing to rise, meaning that when people land on a search result page, they actually aren't going to click to go to the website. They're getting their answer on the page. So what you have to do is, if you're ranking for rank 0 on that page, you have to make the most of the on SERP SEO, meaning you have to optimize that. So if you rank for a query like how to tie a tie, maybe in that query you say, hey, by the way, if you want to learn more about ties or style, go to noahstieblog.com, okay? And you know, there's a little branding opportunity in there. So you have to learn how to do on SERP SEO. Also, on the other side, the reason why we developed the software that we have called ClickFlow is so you can optimize titles and meta descriptions to rank higher, to get a higher click-through rate when it comes to Google. Because if you rank for something like red shoes, and I have another title called red shoes top reviewed for 2019, you're probably going to click on the second one, right? It's got a better title. It's more enticing for you to click on. So on SERP SEO, optimize your titles and meta descriptions, all that good stuff. I have a podcast called Marketing School. I talk about marketing every single day. I do videos on this every single day. And you know, these are the things that I'm hearing all the time, but what I think is not going to go away too is in person. Like we had our conference, marketing school live, and a lot of people showed up for that. We capped it at about 200 people. I think about 150, 160 people showed up. I think it's around that range. I talked to a couple other people. They think it's around that range too. My team kind of thinks it's different. But anyway, so marketing school live, having that live event, having those live touch points, right? We had a client that just signed on with us, potential clients that were about to sign on with us. And I think we're in contract final negotiations or reference checks right now with one of them. It's because we had that in-person touch point, right? All the things we were talking about, all the people that they got to meet, all the speakers that we had, being able to do those live events, which is why that's leading to us, Neil and I, doing our Growth Accelerator Mastermind, which, by the way, you can go to marketingschool.io/live, that's LIVE, to apply for our mastermind. But we've realized that the power of live events is it's unparalleled, because people want to have connection with other people. And those of you that are listening right now or watching this right now, look, we're planning to do another conference in January or February. Might aim for 500 people or 1,000 people or so. So live events are not going to go anywhere, and they're just going to get better and better, stronger and stronger over time. And we even live streamed it as well. And by the way, going back to live streaming, I want to talk about, because live streaming is so good for increasing your watch time, you want to, like, if you are optimizing on YouTube, you got to think about having longer videos for watch time, which is why we're trying to convert videos like this to longer watch times, because that's going to get people to stay longer. Your videos are going to show more, and you know that is something that is going to continue. More people are going to continue to trend in that direction, because everyone's making these short form videos. Moving on from that, look, we talked about voice search, we talked about zero-click searches, we talked about live streaming. There's all these different things happening, right? Also, ads, these ad platforms, even though we all love them, they're gonna get more and more expensive, okay? 10 years ago, Facebook ads wasn't around, Twitter ads weren't around, and Google is reaping in all the dough, right? And you know, they're auction-based systems, so ads are gonna get more and more expensive. Facebook is an ad-based system or auction-based system where ads are gonna get more expensive as well. So what's gonna happen is, you know, all these people are playing this return on investment game, cost of acquiring a customer, CAC ratio, LTV ratio. These are important games to play. But if you keep just relying on ads, you're gonna be in trouble. You cannot just rely on ads. So you have to think about how you can diversify and protect yourself. The good news for you is Pinterest and Amazon are going to continue to get stronger and stronger. Amazon especially is rising very, very quickly. So pay attention to those as well. And then the other thing I want to say around how digital marketing is going to change is all the data that you're ingesting, if you've built an audience, is you want to utilize customer data platforms or CDPs. We use one called Hull, that's HULL.io, and we're able to look at who's visiting our site and then put them into account-based marketing sequences where we can market to a bunch of people on their team. The other thing I want to add is when I think about the Marketing School podcast, if I look at over the years how Neil and I have done things, in the very beginning, especially when I was learning marketing, Neil already had his blog, QuickSprout, and all he would do is blog. And over the years, I would talk to him and I'd say, hey, look, we probably should take a look at video. You should probably take a look at podcasts too, right? The reason we have a podcast is I kept telling him podcast is amazing. And I told him video is amazing too. He got into video too. I'm not saying I told him to do everything, right? But it's, you know, he realized the need to kind of have to take this multi-channel approach. Same thing for what we do, right? We have our blog, we have our YouTube channel, we have our podcasts. We have 2 podcasts, right? We speak around the world. So for us, content is what we love doing, right? Teaching is what we love doing, because to be able to articulate what we already know makes us stronger at it. And at the same time, we're helping a bunch of people at scale. And some people want stuff for free. Well, if you want stuff for free, check out our free content. If you want to pay us, you can pay us. You know, we have another tier. If you want to pay us even more, if you want more attention from us, you can pay us even more, right? So it's having that ladder going up. So funnels are still very important, and also taking that multi-channel approach, an omni-channel approach, where people pay a lot of lip service to, but they actually aren't doing. You have to do that to be able to cover yourself. So that's going to help you in terms of building a brand. Who else does a good job with this? Gary Vee does a really good job with this. In fact, I think he produces 100 pieces of content every single day, and he has like an iMessage group with like 30 people in it. And you know, they'll start with a piece, like a video like this. They'll throw a video in there, and then everyone will jump on the video, chop it up into different pieces, chop it up into blog posts, you know, and then chop it up into podcasts, distribute it into like SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, just everywhere, right? And it becomes just this giant machine. And they produce so much content. I think they're always, you know, last time I checked, they would be like 2 to 3 days away from running out of content. So maybe they've improved that process now, but that's the level that you know, some people are at. And if you can play a little bit to that level, maybe like 5 pieces a day or 10 pieces a day, I think you're going to be in a good spot. And if you can get up to 100 a day, you know, all the more power to you. So those are just a couple things to pay attention to when it comes to where digital marketing is changing in 2020. I do have another video for you to check out that's related to this. So don't forget to check out the next video if you're watching a video right now. And also, whatever channel you're on, don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe, and leave a comment. Let us know what you think. Which one of these is going to make the biggest impact in terms of digital marketing for 2020, and we'll see you tomorrow.